Today we will be dividing polynomials by using synthetic division. This is TEKS from Algebra 2.7c. Determine the quotient, which is your answer, of a polynomial of degree 3 and of degree 4 when divided by a polynomial of degree 1 and of degree 2. So here are all the rules for synthetic division, and I'm going to quickly read through them before I do some sample problems. So we are going to use synthetic division when we are dividing by a first degree polynomial when a is 1. A can be greater than 1. We aren't going to practice that in this video, but this has to be linear down here. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at our numerator, which is called our dividend, and we're going to put 3, -2. We're missing 0x, so we're going to put 0, it's yellow right here, and the -150. Now on the bottom we have x minus 4. So we want to know what x is equal to. So x minus 4 equals 0. And if x minus 4 equals 0, we add 4 to both sides, we get x equals 4. And that's the number that's going to go on the outside. Okay? So we are going to always bring down the first number, multiply with the number on the outside. So it's going to go like a pattern like this. Okay? So we multiply with the number on the outside, and then we add the two numbers together. Multiply with the number on the outside, add the two numbers together. Now, these right here are part of our answer, okay? This is part of our quotient. Now, we start with one exponent lower, okay? So this becomes 3x squared, 10x, 40 by itself, and this is our remainder, which is going to be put over our divisor. Okay, that's what you see here. So let's go ahead and do some practice questions. So example number 1. So first we're going to make this box. Inside of that box, we are going to put our coefficients in order. X cubed, x squared, x, and then our constant. In this case, there are no zeros. So our coefficients are 1x cubed, -2x squared, -9x, and 18. On the outside, you have x plus 3 equals 0. Subtract 3 from each side. We're going to put that -3 on the outside. Okay? Bring down the first number always, 1. Now multiply with the number on the outside. Okay? Add these two numbers together. Multiply with the number on the outside. Add these two numbers together. Multiply with the number on the outside. Add the two numbers together, and this is always your remainder. So there is a 0 remainder. So my quotient, my answer, these are the numbers that are going to be my coefficients of my answer, and I'm going to start 1 degree lower. So my answer is 1x squared minus 5x plus 6, and there is no remainder. If there is no remainder, then it is a linear factor. Okay. So the next one, we're going to practice another one. We're going to look at our coefficients. 1, 6, 11, 16. There's no zeros because I have every 3, 2, 1, no x. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and make our box again, and we're going to put our coefficients of the dividend, which is my numerator, inside the box. And outside the box, I take my denominator, and I set it equal to 0, and I get a -1. Okay? Always bring down your first number, multiply with the number on the outside. Bring down your first number, multiply with the number on the outside. Bring down your first number, multiply with the number on the outside. Add those together, and if you have a number, that is your remainder. So your final answer is going to be 1x squared plus 5x plus 6 plus 10 over x plus 1. Is it a linear factor? No, because there is a remainder. So we're going to do a couple more. Now, these ones are specifically mentioning missing terms. Notice my powers. 3, 2, I don't have an x by itself, an x to the first power. So I need to make sure I put a 0 inside my box. So I'm going to make my box. I have negative 1x cubed, 4x squared. I have 0 x's and my 9 at the end. So you must put a place value if you don't have a term. X cubed, x squared, x, and then the number. And we have x minus 3 equals 0. And so add 3 to both sides, and we're going to put a 3 on the outside. Okay, so rule number 1 is going to be to bring down your first number and always multiply with the number on the outside. Add them together, multiply with the number on the outside. Add them together, multiply with the number on the outside. Add them together, and that is your remainder. Okay, so my answer for this is going to be negative 1x squared plus 1x plus 3 plus 18 over x minus 3. And since there's a remainder, that is not one of the linear factors. Okay, so one more, if you want to go ahead and pause this video and try this one on your own and see if you can figure this out. Okay, you get to check how you did here if you tried this on your own. So the number we were missing was x squared. So in place of x squared, I had to put the 0. So check your coefficients first. And then outside my box, I put a negative 3 since I solved for x. Bring down the 2, multiply. Add together, multiply. Add together, multiply. Add together, and this is always, always, always your remainder. And because this had a remainder, this is not a linear factor. Okay, our last two problems are written a little bit differently. Okay, this says use synthetic division to evaluate the function for the indicated value of x. So what they already gave us was they already gave us the number on the outside. Now, if this has a remainder, then we'll have to figure out how to write the divisor, okay? So let's go ahead and make our box. And inside our box are all the coefficients of, this is x to the 4th, x to the 3rd, x squared, x, and then a number. There is no missing values of x, so therefore there are no zeros. So my coefficients go inside the box. 1, negative 8, 10, 2, and 4. And they already gave us that the 2 goes on the outside because that's what they said. They said x equals 2. So bring down your first number, 1. Multiply. Add them together. Multiply. Add them together. Multiply. Add them together. Multiply. And that is your remainder at the end. Okay, and so this is a factor. So x equals 2 is a factor of this graph. It is a solution of the graph. We're going to go ahead and write our answer as 1x cubed because we start 1 degree lower, minus 6x squared minus 2x minus 2, and there is no remainder. Okay. And we can put f of x equals. Okay, let's try it again. Let's see if we have all of our terms. We have x cubed, x squared, x, and then a coefficient. So we do not have any zeros. If you want to go ahead and pause this video and see if you can get to the correct answer, now would be a good time to pause it here. So that's what your work should look like, but now we're going to discuss the answer because we are going to start 1 degree lower, so 4x squared plus 2x minus 10. Now, I like to put my plus here and then put the negative 3 on top, but what goes on the bottom? So we have x equals negative 2, but I can't put that on my denominator. So I need to move that 2 over because remember I need to set it equal to 0. So I'm going to add 2 to both sides. So that ends up being x plus 2 equals 0. So the x plus 2 is going to go there as part of my answer. And this is your final answer. So hopefully this video helped you solve by using synthetic division.